Hello, beautiful souls. This is Radha Gila, and I'm here with Gila and Nehemia. Hi, Gila.
Hi, how are you? I'm so happy to be here with you today. I'm really excited for this call.
Exactly. I'm so happy to be here too and to share what we have cooking for you all because we were feeling down to our bones that it is time to co-create, to write. We have done poetry programs in the past before, and Gila, do you want to talk about, you being writing teacher, poetry writing, erotic poetry writing, and your background?
Sure, yeah, I'd love to. Thank you for introducing us. So I'm really excited to be doing this event with Radha. I have been writing poetry for, I don't know, over many years, right? Many of us write secretly. We've been writing poetry secretly without anyone knowing. I did start writing publicly, I don't know, over 10 years ago, I believe. Started on Medium, and then I published a poetry book, and I was a writing empowerment coach for many years, helping women specifically with eroticism. I think it's something that I had an experience that opened up my sacral chakra, and kind of that Kundalini experience. And I just couldn't even stop myself. It was like it's so taboo. Honestly, some of my family members aren't too crazy about some of the things I've been writing. But that's okay. We need to, I think it's a cleansing, and it doesn't have to be crass. Like some people can see it that way. But it's not negative. It's something that's just, a natural occurrence. And to express ourselves in that way, I felt was very, very empowering.
Mm, yeah, it's so beautiful. And then we did our beautiful course together, which was so enriching and powerful, and people got so much out of it. And we ended up, I did a poetry book, Poems from the Heart, and a bit of my background is I'm a publisher at Radha Publishing House. I love getting into classes and, leading them, co-leading them because especially when you co-lead with another teacher like you, Gila, it feels so anchored and grounded and we can go deep and, the stuff that comes through the work. It was so powerful. It brought me to tears. Like every class, people would read, and not everybody wants to read their poetry, but some people wanted to. And it was just so moving. And it's like we need a place in this world right now where we are we are grounding into ourselves. Like there's so much going on outside in the world, so much distraction, trauma, so much chaos. And it seems like there's just something new every day. Every day there's something new. And it's like the body isn't actually prepared or equipped to handle that much stuff. Like it's just like if you think back in the past, like we never had this much information coming in. And then what happens is it comes into your body and it starts to like solidify in your field and in your body. And it leaves people feeling like scared or angry, but they don't know what to do with this grief, all of the emotions. But if you don't have like a positive outlet to release these emotions, this stuff can make you sick. Like the body keeps score, and what we repress within ourselves, it has to manifest in other ways, and it becomes like a distortion, and it's not even our distortion, but if we're holding it as a feminine, we have the womb. So we tend to like pick up energies and hold them, you know what I mean, for the collective. And it's really important to start to release and unwind that. And that's why we created Rage on the Page. So, we're going to go deep into ritual writing for women to help release some of that. So, Gila, what are your thoughts on this?
Yes, I want to. say that I really resonate with what you just said, and I wanted to also share that it was so great co-leading with you on our last poetry sessions. And Radha, you wrote the most amazing prompts. You know, it really got us into it, and I think you're right. We both of our energies together created something really special and safe that we could explore together and really, release some
Mhm.
things that were holding us back. But specifically for this, Rage on the Page, and I just wanted to share because I hope everyone can see our screens, or my screen actually that I'm sharing. But Radha wrote this really beautiful poem, and I'd recommend everyone read it. Maybe you could read it if you want to, Radha. But I think there's something really important right now with everything that's going on, whether it's the war or the gas prices or all these different things that are happening inside of our own families, our own lives, challenges at work, wherever you are in the world. There are things that specifically women, I think, have, and maybe all people, but we're talking about most women, suppress, to
Mhm.
keep the peace at home, to deal with the children, to deal with your family members, whatever it is, even your animals. Like, we are stretched. I know I'm stretched.
Mhm.
And there is, sometimes, even though we don't want to blame anybody, and it's not really about anyone, really. It's about this rage that's, I think, has been passed on
Mhm.
through generations. And we're creating the safe space to really allow ourselves and each other to express it so that in we don't release everything at once, right? It's kind of a slow burn. But when we begin to release, we allow ourselves to see beyond it. And
Mhm.
I really appreciate you writing this poem because it really spoke to me. When she sent this to me, I was like, wow, this is so amazing. So thank you so much for having that download and sharing it with us.
Mhm. It's an honor, and I'm so excited to be doing that with you. You hold a very, you know, strong container of a lot of like love and compassion, and but also what I love in co-creating with you is that you create a space for women to like let it all out. And that's just like what we need. I think we need to move beyond like our everyday judgments and the confines and like I'm not allowed to feel this like the good girl syndrome where we got to keep it all together to the point where we're hurting ourselves. And again, this is a safe place. This is how we transmute and alchemize through writing and through being witnessed or allowing ourselves to be in a space where we can actually tap into the layers beneath the surface that we don't always access because it's not safe. So we're gonna do a really beautiful somatic start to this. We're gonna be moving through and allowing breath work and some guided meditation to bring us to this place where we can soften and relax and get to those places because the truth is like underneath rage most of the time is like inconsolable grief. It's just like this sadness, like this isn't right. Like this is, we know that what's going on is wrong and it's been wrong for way too long and it's been unchecked in every level of our lives, of this society. And so by allowing ourselves to feel without judgment, without the good girl voice, and just like it's not about good or bad anymore. This is about allowing our inner selves to emerge. Like I feel like because so much has been coming at us, we haven't even had the space to breathe. It's like one thing like a war, gas prices. It's just like gasping at the horror. Oh, another pandemic. It's just like, okay, we need to stop and slow down. So yeah, we want to be here for the women that are ready to just drop in. drop in with us and allow the feelings to turn into words. And they don't have to all go together perfectly. That's what I love about poetry, right, Gila? It's not
Yeah.
perfect. It's
Yeah, it's totally. It's like you just allow it to flow through you. And I think I love that we're creating this space together because honestly it's been a journey I've been on for a very long time, and I know that and rage has its phases such as grief. It's there's a lot of phases, and sometimes it can go on for years. And it's we're timeless. Like we think of it like, oh my gosh, it's been so long, but like what does that mean? Like we've been around for eons. Our soul's been around for eons, and I feel like you know when I can see some when I get glimpses past the rage at certain points, there's like this sense of peace. But it doesn't stay sometimes for long. But I feel like what we're on when we're talking about bone deep, it's like, at least for me, it's like it just like it goes through you. It like really hits you, and you're like, whoa, but I don't need to carry it anymore. And I think,
Mhm.
with grief, it's like we carry something that we've lost. And, all of us have had people that we have lost, or, things or whatever, that have been lost, and we feel grief towards them. But there is something I feel that we can release and accept and truly be at peace with. And that peace, at least I have been searching for my entire life. And
Mhm.
I feel like the reason why I bring it up is because I feel like this session can help us to begin the path of going there to that sense of peace.
Yeah, that's the goal. It's like we and that's a beautiful part about being human too, is that as hard as it is sometimes with so much coming at us, the true beauty of being a human is we are able to feel and to have like emotions and like I don't think we understand how also precious it is. Like there's something beautiful about having this full spectrum emotions. I mean, that's the difference between like a psychopath and like a functioning human, or empath is like an empath can feel all the emotions, but again, we sometimes it gets sedentary, it gets stuck, it starts to clog the energy. And so the beauty is to channel it. It's not just like, why is this all happening to me? But we can start to explore the nuances. But we have to give ourselves like this certain amount of space between us and whatever's going on, and then just be the observer and let it like come through. It's kind of like a channeling. And and then you surprise yourself like, wow, I just wrote that poem. And it's like a gift to yourself because you're the one who went through that. You're the one who felt that. You're the one who had to process this. So it's like you get to give something back to your soul. Your soul wants beauty and it wants art and it wants the things that make life feel that it's you're alive, and the aliveness of creating something that came from you. And there is like a healthy dopamine, I think, that comes through that. Like, we're all addicted to the phones and the devices, but like we need to, it's always good to take some time and pause. And I like the container sessions that we do because everyone puts down their devices and we get old fashioned back pen or pencil back onto paper. Remember those days, you guys, when we used to be in school and we had a pen or a pencil, actually it was usually a pencil on the paper. Remember when we used to write? And I think that the brain processes differently when we write with our hand rather than typing. Then you can type it as well, but there is something really beautiful about that. That's why our class is not just like a 45-minute poetry class or a 60-minute. We're doing it for 90 minutes. Our sessions were like 90 minutes up to 2 hours because we saturate in the energy, the creative energy, and really take advantage of these precious moments in between everything else in our life that we all have going on. So, yeah, do you want to share more about this class?
Yeah, yeah. So it is 90 minutes. It is on May 17th on Sunday. It's 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific time. You can get the tickets on Eventbrite. It's also posted as an event in Facebook that we can share in the details. You don't have to come on camera. It's totally faceless. We know that sometimes being on camera is stressful. So we're definitely not going to be asking you to come on camera. And I just wanted to share that because I think it's really
Mm,
important. And just as she says here, we're witnessing each other and, we don't have to just by being, you're being witnessed.
mm,
And I think that it's really important to be authentic. That's really why we are saying you don't have to come on camera because and sharing is optional. We'd love for you to share, but that is we understand how this can be very personal and
mhm,
we are totally cognizant of that. And we are just inviting you into this safe space to truly connect to that part of yourself that maybe you have not allowed yourself to do
mm,
because of variety of responsibilities, or we can come up with a lot of different reasons. But um, to be totally present with us, to connect to your heart, your body, your feelings, your sense of your soul, to really I'm just trying to think how deep, but as deep as you want to go, right? We're here to guide you. We're both here to usher you into this really sacred space. And I'm just looking at the page to see what else you need to do. We're suggesting you bring a candle, notebook, as Radha said, paper, pen, a warm drink, comfortable clothing. Just allow yourself to flow. Would you
mhm.
like to go through the session flow, Radha, or something else you'd
Yeah,
like to share?
absolutely. So, yeah, we're just going to start with a grounded meditation and getting into our breath, into our body, and like finding the softness inside of us, like, opening up and softening within, because that's really where the energy can flow. And even the repressed anger and the rage and everything comes through. But we have to kind of create like a channel, an opening for that, because again, most of the stuff is so compacted, like red clay that's been stuck together that it's hard to even access those parts of ourself. Um, and then we're just going to move into a really deep and guided prompts for the poetry. And this is to activate and stimulate, but we're going to take it slow. We're not just going to go boom, boom. You could even just write a word or feeling or a sentence, but we keep it going and we keep it moving. And it's so interesting how the process works, like just prompting, just hearing it and having that space. Unexpected things come forward, and then during the silent period, we start to kind of bring it together, like the pieces. It's like a puzzle. We're putting it together. And then we'll open it up. If you want to share, we would love to hear your voice. Your voice is valuable. And this is part of expressing and also releasing. It's important to be witnessed. And again, we're going to have the cameras off because everyone's going to be in their cozy little situation with their candles on and just kind of having like a bubble of co-creation. You're in your bubble and everyone's in their bubble, but we are kind of like creating in a sacred space and allowing that energy to move. Um, the other thing is that when we come together in these creative spaces, it is wild how the energy and the creativity just starts flowing. You're like, I don't feel it. I don't feel it. But then sit down and be with us and it just starts to move through you. So, and then we'll do some, integration pieces so that we can, you're not just like open and everything's, we're just gonna gently like create a integration and a grounding and a sealing so that you're grounded back into your sacred energy in your space, but you now have access to these parts, and hopefully your poetry will be continuing. So it is important to note that this is not like a therapy, this is not therapy. We're not coming here to verbally dump. Like we're here to actually, it is a guided experience where you will be able to dump all of that onto the paper. And that's really important. So it's not a therapeutic or clinical service. If you come, then we just require that we are respectful of each other because as we drop into these places, people start to go deeper. And we just want to let everybody have their chance to go as deep as they want to go.
Yeah, definitely. And I was just thinking, when we are so what's the word? The words are escaping me today. But this AI all over the place, everything is like so it seems so sterile. And I
Mhm.
feel like this space is a real human connection, especially through art, through poetry, through um, lyrical words. There's something very connected about it. I don't want to say human, but something really like I feel like deep down with all of these machinations going on, you know, this space and others that we will be creating together, I feel like people need this. Like we're thirsty for it because, I just feel like so much is devoid. We're just always talking to machines all the time. And we need to like just connect on a
Mhm.
deep level. And so I think that's why, going bone deep really resonated with me. And we know that some of you have shared that with us. So we know that some people it's resonating with you too. So if you are listening to this and you feel like you'd like to come, we're definitely would be thrilled to have you. And it's a sliding scale for the payment of the ticket. So it's between 33 and 111. So please pay what you can, and you can always contact us if that is an issue. We are definitely open, and we'd love for you to join us because we think it's so important. So if this is resonating, you're called to be here with us and start the journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, if money is an issue, do let us know and reach out. We want the right women to show up that are feeling this in their heart, um, because we know that this is going to be a big, powerful transmutation for you, and it's an opportunity for you to put down some of that heavy load and to allow it to be transmuted onto the paper through your words and your poetry. Um, we really believe in everyone joining in the arts, and so we invite you wherever you are. We'd love to have you. The most important thing is you come, just come with a pure heart. That's all that matters, and allow us to guide you through the process, and you will feel so much lighter after the session. I Every single session we did, even though we were the ones guiding, I'd be like, I feel starbursts of energy, like
Me too.
Oh, it just feels so good because it's a creative energy and allowing our also our inner child to express itself and play like how many adults in this world are like, I don't have time for you to their inner child. I don't have time. Like, stop. We can't afford to think that way or do this or blah, blah, blah. But this is a space where your inner child wants to also express like the grief that it's been feeling or the joy that it wants or whatever that is. Like, this is a place where you get to access various parts of yourself. And so, again, release, witness, and reclaim your voice. I feel like so many women are stuck in fight or flight right now, understandably, like looking at what's happening all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, it's a hit to your nervous system every single day. So we are excited to embrace you into this and yeah, be sure to join right away because we want this to be a smaller, intimate group of women. And again, you're so welcome. At Radha Publishing House, we're also doing other poetry projects, and we will be offering discounts too if you want to be a part of our next poetry project. But this is a place where we are going to come together and really celebrate everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. It all gets honored right here. So join.
Right, right. No judgment, really just opening our hearts and connecting on a soul level and on that ethereal plane, because I feel like that's where we really are able to tap into the beauty of the everyday. And sometimes when we're, living our lives, we lose sight of that. So
Mhm.
this special place reconnects us to the truth and the beauty within.
Beautiful. So if you have any questions, reach out. You can get the tickets on Eventbrite or you can follow the PayPal link and put in your donations. So we look forward to seeing you there. And until next time, we're sending you all the good energy.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining today. And we really look forward to seeing you really soon. So much love. Bye.